6. Humanistic Buddhism and language. After Buddhism spread to the East, it gradually became acculturated to its new home. A unique result of acculturation is the Chinese language. Language is vital for communication. Through letters and languages, human beings express and communicate their thoughts and views. Although the Chan school has advocated against the use of letters, language is ultimately the core path through which people will come to understand the Dharma. Language should only be discarded when one reaches the ultimate level of attainment. One sentence suffices to determine the fate of a nation. Likewise, it is also sufficient to bring joy or hatred to a person. Therefore, how can one deny the importance of language? It must be obvious that the spread of Buddhism depends on the use of letters and language. Just as stated in the Diamond Sutra, not even the greatest treasure of the entire 3,000 chiliacosm can compare to the merit acquired from upholding a 4-line verse. Thus the emphasis of language on Buddhist is clear. If Master Xuanzang had never brought the many texts back from India, how would Chinese culture have been enriched? Without such words of wisdom and truth, how would any Buddhist canon manage to express the truth? Deprived of language, communication between human beings wouldn't be as graceful or pleasing. Without language, how could the works of ancient literati and philosophers be as profound? Thus the spread of humanistic Buddhism has certainly contributed greatly to the spread of Chinese culture. 1. Chinese language enriched by Buddhist expressions. In general, knowledge of 1,000 expressions is sufficient to term one as knowledgeable. Narrowed down to hundreds, it is still adequate for one to speak and write. Yet there are thousands of Buddhist phrases and terms, which have exerted tremendous influence on Chinese letters and language. In his 18 chapters on Buddhist studies and research, Liang Qichao mentions that, after Buddhism was transmitted to China, translation works of Buddhist sutras have added 35,000 words to the Chinese language. Not only have these new words enhanced the beauty of Chinese literature, their depth and meanings were also elevated. Even daily speech became more elegant. In fact, the letters and language in humanistic Buddhism have long become part of people's daily usage. They simply do not realize that a large part of their language is actually Chan language. Without humanistic Buddhist languages, I wonder if the Chinese could still speak as elegantly. For example, may the Buddha's light shine universally, let the stream of Dharma be ever-flowing, the 4 elements are in essence empty, or the 5 aggregates never truly exist. Each of these Chinese phrases is comprised of 4 characters. Once translated into English, they lose part of their meaning and elegance. This makes a translation that embodies both meaning and elegance challenging. Therefore, the Chinese language is not only profound in meaning, but its beauty and elegance is something that no language can match. Other Chan phrases such as the gate of non-duality, true thusness and intrinsic nature, field of the 8 consciousness, or let the mind arise without abiding, are also rich in philosophical context and literary beauty. The task of translation into any other language would undoubtedly be extremely difficult. The 4 reasons Chinese language stands out as the most unique and profound are as follows. I. Translation of sutras and integration of languages. The spread of the Dharma would not have happened without the disciples. They held councils and compiled the Buddha's teachings and words after he entered nirvana. The world can now enjoy the eternal company of the righteous Dharma, which includes the writings and disseminations of the Tripitaka and 12 divisions of Buddhist canon. Monks originally from India, such as Kasyapa Dharmaratna, and Shigo, Lokaksema, Jikun, and Kangsengui, D.280 took on the task of translating Buddhist texts into Chinese. Later, the 5 great translators, Kumarajiva, Paramartha, Xuanzang, Amaghavajra, and Hsing translated a large corpus of Buddhist sutras, thereby completing the system of Buddhist thoughts. The task of translation not only enabled the spread of the Buddha's profound teachings, but also allowed the 8 schools of Chinese Buddhism to thrive during the Sui and Tang dynasties. Translations also enabled Chinese Mahayana Buddhism to take form. Translations done by Kumarajiva are regarded as older translations for his ability to grasp the meaning and transcribing them in fluent and concise writing. 4 of his most prominent disciples, Dao Sheng, Sangzao, Darong, and Sengrui were all outstanding translators. With their participation, the Lotus Sutra, Diamond Sutra, Vimalakirti Sutra, and Amitabha Sutra were widely disseminated and extremely popular among Chinese Buddhists for the eloquent readability of the texts. On the other hand, Master Xuanzang's insistence on remaining loyal to the original text increased the difficulty of his interpretations. He also established the rule for the 5 untranslatables, the 5 instances under which only transliterations are rendered. 1. Secret languages such as mantras or dharanies. 2. Polysemy, words that contain multiple meanings. 3. Foreign languages that do not exist in China. 4. Deference to the past, established transliterations from the past. 5. To inspire respect and righteousness, words such as prajna. Certainly, the spread of a Buddhist text would depend on the fluency of its translations. Translators from later periods followed Xuanzang's rules and rendered the new translations, which have remained particular in their translation techniques. Therefore, it is important that the language used in humanistic Buddhism not be rigid or adamant. A reasonable level of adaptation to ensure the readability and fluency of Buddhist language is necessary. Just as Chinese, Japanese, Korean, Theravada, and Tibetan Buddhism each developed their own unique languages, ways of practice, geographical and historical backgrounds were the major contributing factors. Today, as we harmonize all forms of Buddhism into humanistic Buddhism, not only are we integrating all Buddhist vocabularies throughout history, we are also reinstating Buddha's original intents. Our own resolve is to offer, to the world, a unified teaching focused solely on the Buddha's intent at bettering society. Being what is essential to people, and the belief that we all can become Buddhas, humanistic Buddhism is certainly the way. 2. The spread of Buddhist texts. Throughout the 2,000 years of Buddhism's spread in China, eminent masters went through painstaking efforts to translate Buddhist texts, which later became various editions of Buddhist canons such as the Kibao, Khatan, Vairocana, Kisha, Koryo, Jiaxing, Dragon, Pinya, Tegan, Manji Daizokyo, Manji Zokazokyo, and Taisho canons. Embodying profound literary and philosophical concepts, these canons have earned the world's respect and envy of Chinese culture. Not even Shakespeare's love stories or delicate portrayals of human nature and life could outshine these canons. In Huxi's History of Vernacular Literature, he mentions that the Gandhavyuha Sutra from the Avatamsaka Sutra is itself a literary novel, while the Vimalakirti Sutra is the longest vernacular poem in history, exemplifying both philosophical attainments and literary beauty. Though certain Buddhists may not agree with such an approach to appreciating the Dharma, we cannot deny that literature and philosophy are the only way through which the beauty of Buddhism and Buddhist literature can be comprehended. While gratitude must go the Chinese for developing printing techniques, the demand for these texts, owing to the spread of Buddhism, has advanced, perfected, and profited the printing industry. Indeed, the benefit is undeniably twofold. Today, books, magazines and even different editions of the Buddhist canon can be found in households. It can be argued that the wide circulation of Buddhist texts has not only enriched the hearts and minds of the people, but also enhanced the spread of humanistic Buddhism tremendously. 3. Concurrent sectarian realities. Under the works of past eminent Buddhist masters, along with the Chan school separating into 5 distinct disciplines, and the 5 schools and 7 sects, Chan masters found an alternate way to the truth. They did this through their mindsets of pointing straight to the heart and attaining Buddhahood upon seeing one's nature. Most notably, they conveyed the Dharma to society in a manner that was acceptable and understandable by the people, from the children to the elderly. This is an extremely important accomplishment. Take Zhi Yi for example. Having taught on the Lotus Sutra, his school was thus known as the Jiante school or Fawa school. Alternatively, in widely disseminating the Avatammasaka Sutra, Master Xian Shao's school is hence known as the Xian Shao school. Under similar circumstances, various schools took on names based upon where they were situated, what sutras were being studied, or their founder. The Pure Land school was otherwise known as the Lotus school, Pure school, and Chanting of Buddha's name school. The Three Treatises school is also known as the Emptiness school, or Dharma nature school. The Fashang school was also known as the Mind-only school. No schools were treated as equals, yet none rejected nor excluded each other. This is similar to the diverse Buddhist expressions of the Tathagata Garbha, true thusness, intrinsic nature, and true reality utilized to help understand the truth about our nature. Despite the distinction, there has never been any feeling of contention or objection. Just as it is seemly that the Buddha has 10 epithets, so it was with elites and nobles in olden times. They had scholarly names, courtesy names, titles, and pseudonyms. Even the multitude has nicknames or alternative names. Regardless, they all refer to the same person. For this reason, the propagation of humanistic Buddhism requires the effort of all Buddhists around the world, for it embodies the Buddha's original intents. By acknowledging the term humanistic Buddhism, we already contribute greatly to the future of Buddhism worldwide. Conversely, deeming this term inappropriate or incorrect would only harm Buddhism and its dissemination. 5. Common expressions. Some say that the Chinese are the smartest people in the world. I wonder if many know how integral the Buddhist language was. The language spoken, written and used daily by Chinese is essentially derived from Buddhist texts. Buddhists and non-Buddhists alike are seemingly unaware that they are actually speaking the Buddhist language. The beauty of the Chinese language is said to be without equal. The following are some often used Buddhist expressions. 1. 4 character expressions. To severe all in sitting meditation. To spin a cocoon around oneself. To suffer the consequences of one's own actions. To play dumb. To be transformed from a female into a male. Utmost virtuous people. To make a loud statement. Eyes of wisdom and steps of conduct. Direct pointing to one's mind. Steaming sand to make cooked rice. To be far removed from the dust and defilement of the world. Like apes and monkeys trying to catch the moon in the water. The sentient world. Karmic retribution. Single-mindedness. Not attached to a single thread. A snap of the finger. Falling leaves return to their roots. Eyes are eyes, and nose is nose. Majestic land and dwell attain sentient beings. Beyond words. To attain spiritual progress through the right path. Walking, standing, sitting and lying down. The mind is like a wild monkey and galloping horse. Heart-to-heart connection. The mind changes with the circumstances. All dharmas arise from the mind. Demons and heretics. Throwing all 5 limbs to the ground. Impermanence strikes fast. The taste of chewing candle. I alone am the honored one. Your whole body is your eyes and hands. Heavenly rain of flowers. The night blooming cactus. To follow conditions while remaining unmoved. To drift with the waves and go with the flow. To know the mind and penetrate the root. When things go against your will. Mutual unobstructedness among phenomena. To arise or cease within aksana. Blessings from the past 3 lifetimes. Like shadows following the body. To benefit sentient beings. Past and present lifetimes. The 7 emotions and 6 sensory pleasures. Under the moon and stars. To throw a brick to bring back jade. Buddha's flower and Kasyap's smile. Reverse contributive factors. A mud ox into the sea. To polish a brick into a mirror. To realize the mind and see one's true nature. Dream, illusion, bubble and shadow. To start off big and end up in nothing. Auspicious blessings throughout all 6 periods of the day. To conserve defilements to benefit beings. The taste of the water in your mouth. Like an old woman's ardent urgency. To set a time limit for attainment. Sand grains accumulate to make a tower. Indestructible diamond. Transmission apart from teachings. Barren seed. To see things through other people's eyes. Final radiance of the setting sun. To try to satisfy hunger by drawing cakes. Tiger howl with the rise of winds. Spanning the 10 directions. As innumerable like the sands of the Ganges. To trust one's ears rather than one's eyes. Turtle hair and rabbit's horn. Broadly develop good affinities. To scratch an itch from outside the boot. To play along for a little fun. Favorable weather. To recover one's true nature. To play the lute to a cow. Teaching in conformity with the mental capacity of listeners. With a proper mind and regulated will. Movement is the same as stillness. Revealed in perfect clarity. Transient lightning and flint fire. Constant dripping wears away a stone. Strike a telling blow. To cut to the chase. Great compassion and great loving kindness. The fairy of compassion. To talk ignorant nonsense. Morning bells and evening drums. When dusts are cleared, light will shine. Neither increases nor decreases. Neither arises nor extinguishes. Neither close nor far. The gate of non-duality. To clear the clouds and see the sky. To deny the rule of causes and effect. Supreme eloquence. Original face. To find peace and attain enlightenment. Most of these expressions originated from Chan-gongans. They embody the profound philosophy and clever wits of Chan masters, which have made modern-day Chinese more artistic and elegant. 2. 3 character expressions. Wisdom of all. Mani jewel. All phenomena. Mahasattva. 1 ksana. Mahayana. A composite. Strike the first bell. Chan of 1 taste. Yogacara Dharma service. 1 great kalpa. Life release ceremony. Enlightenment in 1 night. Expedient means. A snap of the finger. Bestowal of fearlessness. A particle of dust. Sun, moon and star. 1 finger Chen. Perfected in wisdom and action. Cross out with 1 stroke. Bright standing mirror. The time of a meal. The easy path. The 7 factors of enlightenment. Universal Unity Pagoda. The Triple Gem Buddhas. Samandabhadra. Samadhi. Universal Gate Chapter. Fire of Samadhi. Mount Puto. 3 Dharma Seals. Sea of Wisdom. Outside the 3 Dharma Realms. Pilgrims. To take refuge in the Triple Gem. Gentle and soft mind. Great offering. Finger pointing to the moon. The gate of non-duality. Buddha of happiness. Never laying down. Ground of joy. individual karma, correct peerless enlightenment. Akala, Bhikshuni, unobtainable. Bubble on the water, inexplicable. Moon in the water, not lying. Sramainrika, not thinking about the wholesome. Rely on the Dharma, not thinking about the unwholesome. Dharma abode, inconceivable. Thus is the Dharma, no laxity. Paramita, not in perfect ease. Lively, not lying. Buddha's birthday. Never regress or change. Ocean tide voice. Knower of the world. To eliminate karmic obstacle. 9 stages of lotus incarnation. To make a donation. 12 hours. Pure and cool moon. The honored one among humans. Pure mind. Characteristics of the self and others. Gratitude for a water drop. Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. Unsurpassed one. Why, how? Stage of no more learning. Affinities in future lives. Nothing to be attained. Faith, vow, and practice. Fire of ignorance. Simultaneous liberation. The house of nirvana. To generate merits. One lamp which is yet limitless. Do good deeds. Inexhaustible storehouse. To hold a Dharma service. Universal offering. Upasaka. Infinite light. Upasika. Infinite life. Lamp of illumination. Gateless barrier. Treasury of light. To burn the first incense. Free from disasters and calamities. Lion's roar. Supreme among 2-legged creatures. Karmic retribution in the present life. Noble Eightfold Path. Nectar. 8 fields of merit. Generate great mind. 6 points of reverent harmony. Ulambam Festival. 6 days of purification. True meaning. 2-headed bird. Characteristics of sentient beings. Coexisting affinity. The garment of the field of blessing. 10 Dharma Realms. Meditation associates. Namo Buddha. To cultivate the field of merits. Contemplate the head phrase. To make great vows. To take the 5 precepts. Purple bamboo forest. Lip service Chen. Sutra, Vinaya, and Abhidharma. To live on offerings from the 10 directions. Hearing, contemplation, and practice. Vegetarian breakfast. Laba Kanji. Good women. Emptiness of self-nature. Good men. Vile skin bag. Virtuous companion. Door of prajna. Safeguard the mind. Chen in tea and meals. Cause, condition, and effect. Think no delusive thoughts. Gate of hell. The body path. Ksitigarbha. A bodhisattva's mind. Repay kindness. Bodhisattva precepts. Contributory factor. 10,000 Buddha shrine. Increase merit and wisdom. Longevity park. Prabhuparadna Buddha. Lotus pond. Master. Sutra repository. The great teacher. Ferry to Western Pure Land. Great fearlessness. Awakened sentient being. Great supernatural power. Avalokitesvara. Great Bodhisattva. Avalokitesvara. Great Lord of Healing. The path of liberation. Teacher of heavenly beings and humans. Speak good words. Heaven, earth, and humans. Greed, hatred, and ignorance. Road to heaven. Jianghiroamer. Bridge to hell. Zhao Zuti. Good omen. To turn the Dharma wheel. Tathagata Buddha. To commit verbal karma. Tathagata Shrine. Buddha Selection Court. To understand things as they really are. Golden Light. Sickbay. Diamond Heart. Wonderful and auspicious. The diamond body. Think good thoughts. Study a pile of old documents. Pleasant practices. Layman. Shramanera. To open the monastery gate. Lay Buddhist association. To broaden one's views. Sakridavanamindra. Yama. Sadaprabhuda. Asura. To liberate sentient beings. Asamkhya. Play with a monkey. Arhat. Maitreya Buddha. Aranya. Kalpas as many as fine dust. The difficult path. Mind, thought, and perception. Yunmen cake. Blossoming of the mind. To show the cloven foot. Liberation of mind. Not thinking. 7-day chanting retreat. Mount Sumeru. Compassion. Ocean of fragrant water. Morality, meditative concentration, wisdom. Kitchen of accumulated fragrance. Cognitive hindrance. Incense cloud canopy. Meditation retreat. Essence, function, and form. Welcoming Buddha. The gate of death. 3 2-character terms. Merit cloud and water Sravaka. As one wishes attachment lecture hall. Supernatural power tranquility monastery. Serene, peaceful monastery to devote one's life. Transgression lodging to prostrate to the Buddha. Absolute pure land to circumambulate the Buddha. Influence purity to reverse a verdict. Universal manifest since ancient times. Listen carefully sentient beings Arhat. Procedure affliction medicine meal. All, everything habitual tendency upside down. Single-mindedly, wholeheartedly solemn, majestic to repent. To make a full circle, to relinquish to awake. Samadhi good and evil warning staff. 3 jewels joyful giving a cantica. Supreme teacher to surround chatterbox. Short version karmic retribution to receive, take in. Mountain gate contemplation on loving kindness. Sacrifice middle way evil path to bind. Guang and distraction symbols. Discrimination universal gate Mara hindrance. Divine eye universal salvation joy. Expedient means wisdom to change. Burning house pilgrimage inspiration. World morning and evening efficacious. World morning dew Avalokitesvara. To renounce non-abiding contemplation. Renunciation, transcendence free from thought careful consideration. To bless ignorance clear perception. Generosity fearless praise. Equality formless tie to. Authentic impermanence affinity. Nectar immeasurable potentiality and condition. Arising and ceasing endless phenomenon. To manifest lack of connection sentient being. To bring the 10 fingers or 2 palms together. To resolve hindrance to join palms. To develop affinity entrance auspicious blessings. Body cardinal meaning. Fellowship Bodhisattva now, present. Dedication of merits nothingness, unreal thus, so. Cause and effect dull aptitude as single seat, or position. Causes and conditions inauguration superstition. Hell to awaken relative. Tathagatha to travel freely superior vehicle. According to reality rise chef to have a cause, link, or connection. Delusive thoughts Dharma transmission Nirmanakaya. Accomplishment perfect rest disaster, catastrophe. Perfect ease universally penetrating predestination. Self-awareness subtle, profound response, correspond. To travel fine dust to face the all in sitting meditation. Robe and bowl river of desire consecration. Sangha community loving words stick and shout. Abbot divine connection Kasaya. The Buddha way ferry of compassion victory. Budgetology loving kindness and compassion respect. Altruism lodge benefit. Inexorable fate, karmic effect, a sentence. Disciple, karmic retribution, all one's life. Patience, karmic hindrance, one direction. To be reborn, ultimate bliss, one kalpa. To avail oneself of an opportunity. Defilement, one word. To shake off lions, or one taste. Fetter, immediate moment, one thought. Sramana, superintendent, one gate. Shramanera, observation of silence of the same flow. Offering, walking meditation, one side, simultaneously. To depend and rest upon, volunteer, one voice. Temple, chef, sage and ordinary, same family. The initial mind liberation, one time. Uphold provision, one moment of time. Most venerable, to wander, travel all along the way. Householder, to be free and at ease, humans and devas. The other shore, past life. To be reborn, place for spiritual practice, a human body. To depart and return, sudden enlightenment, a teacher of humans. To chant Buddha's name, Sangha, human world. Let go, monastic, to enter into meditation. To emit light, affliction, beginner. Free session, worldly affinity. To enter the master's study for examination or instruction. Dharma, body, reality, Shrodapana, stream entrant. The milk of Dharma, actual, to enter into nirvana. Dharma gate, a remedy to enter the way. Dharma realm, humility, 8 difficulties. Dharma master, venerable. To expound, one of great strength. Dharma joy, field of merit, 8 kinds of suffering. Dharma wheel, seed, the 10 directions. Dharma instrument, chant Buddha's name 3,000-fold. Dharma treasure, vihara, 3 periods of time. Receptionist, diligence, 3 lifetimes. Disciplinarian, karmadana, 3 kalpas. Entangle, sacred and secular, monastic and lay practitioner, 3 calamities. Relic, record of sayings, 3 mental conditions. Diamond, at ease, samadhi. To nurture, to increase, grow, 3 poisons. Faith, to snap the fingers, 3 realms. Ksana, wisdom, a life, 3 vehicles. External taint, to lay the hand on the top of the head, 3 periods of time. To uphold precepts, optimism, 3 obediences. Benefactor, pratyeka, Buddha, 3 lower realms. Taint, lotus, society, 3-fold training. To transmit and spread, to subdue, 3 rights. Transmigration, rebirth, tripitaka. Worldly affairs, to expel, right livelihood. Austerity, hungry ghost, fragrance of precepts. Ocean of suffering, student of the way, to cherish affinity. Jasmine, mentor, calming and contemplating. To subdue laziness, coexistence. Chief, to burn incense, to settle. Spiritual cultivation, accumulation, to bear adversity with calmness. Discrimination, clarify, butter, to practice Chen. Affection, staff, to see the way. Karmadana, Jampudeva, salutation. To pay one's respects to awaken to the truth according to allotment. Patience, attained through Dharma secretary. To rejoice, taste of Dharma. Aptitude, to accord with conditions, Dharma abode. Extraordinary austerities, a torch of Dharma. Buddha, dragon and elephant, Dharma joy. Nirvana, manifestation in response. Causes and conditions that accord with the Buddha-dharma. La peace, lazuli, mental proliferation, ask for the way. True mind, Dana, Buddhist hymn. True thusness, Chan, mind simple and frugal. Truth, sitting meditation, shamelessness. God, deity, taste of Chan without sorrow. Vegetarian meal, meditative concentration, holding oneself in equanimity. Prajna, Chan, master, respectful and faithful. To penetrate joy of Chan, learn to appear dull-witted. Travel and learn meditation, hall, turn around. Half bow, to hold to the good, total retention, to awaken. 4. Literary expressions. When one child renounces, 9 clans of kinsmen will ascend to heaven. All conditioned phenomena are like dreams, illusions, bubbles, and shadows. A day without work means a day without food. When one Buddha is born, the other two will pass away. The birth of one Buddha is made possible by thousands of other Buddhas. One is many, and many are one. Each key opens up a lock. A word spoken is an arrow let fly. There is a world in a single flower, a Buddha in a single leaf. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. Once bitten, twice shy. It is hard to be born as a human, and hard to hear the Dharma. Buddhahood is attained the instant our characters are perfected. We can only count on a single breath. It is important to feel pain and affliction. The waters of 8 merits and 9 stages of lotus flowers, starting a daily practice. He who is allegedly unmovable even by the 8 winds was blown across the river by a fart. 3,000 demeanors and 80,000 subtle actions. The 3 realms are like a burning house. The Saha world is like an ocean of suffering. The 3 realms are only in the mind. The myriad dharmas are only in the consciousness. Have gratitude for the 4 kindnesses, and follow the Dharma to cross over the 3 lower realms of existence. 1,000 lives, 1,000,000 deaths. Success comes after endless hammering and refinement. All sentient beings possess the wisdom and virtues of the Buddha. All living beings possess Buddha nature. With great magnanimity comes joy and perfect ease. Across the mountains, streams, and foreign lands, the sun and moon, all beneath the one sky. Destiny will make enemies meet. If not for the sake of the monk, at least for that of the Buddha. There are always people who are better than you. We go back and forth between heaven and hell. The mind is like a general who takes command. The mind is like a restless monkey. The joy of fishing for the moon in the water is as real as emptiness. To emerge from the mud untainted. We come and go empty-handed. The cycle of birth and death never ends. Causes, conditions and retributions will never get it wrong. There is no error in causes, conditions and retributions. I shall never attain Buddhahood until hell is emptied. For evil news rides fast, while good news baits later. Only you would know the taste of the water in your mouth. Never leave a treasured mountain empty-handed. It is too late to ever say if only I had known. Where there is the Dharma, there is way. There is rebirth after death, and death after rebirth. Form is emptiness, emptiness is form. Walk like the wind, stand like a pine, sit like a bell, sleep like a bow. May the Buddha's light shine universally and the Dharma water flow eternally. Where is Buddha? Buddha is in one's mind. Dharma can only be found in the world, and enlightenment cannot be attained away from it. The Buddha sees that a grain of rice is as enormous as Mount Sumeru. The Buddha sees 84,000 organisms and a bowl of water. A gentleman's word is as good as gold. I dare not denigrate any one of you, for you are all going to become Buddhas. I see that the world is like a malacca fruit. It is better to help yourself than to seek help from others. Lay down the butcher's knife and become Buddha on the spot. Like a clay bodhisattva fording the river, even his own safety is jeopardy. Spring lingers even when flowers have fallen. A place becomes empty when someone passes away. A body as indestructible as diamond. All in the Buddhist community are friends. Life shortens at the end of each day. To see through the world and then be scared to death. The ocean of suffering is boundless. Only by turning back can one reach salvation. Like a moth flying into the flame, and a silkworm trapping itself in a cocoon. Better friends than foes. For each day that I remain a monk, I will continue my duty in tolling the bell. The merit of saving one human life outweighs that of building a 7-story pagoda. A clean hand wants no washing. No notion of a self, no notion of others, no notion of ancient beings, no notion of longevity. To generate the body, mind, and attain Buddhahood. Bodhisattvas fear causes, while sentient beings fear effects. Mount Sumeru can contain a mustard seed, yet that same mustard seed can conceal Mount Sumeru. To be weighted on hand and foot. With compassionate eyes he gazes upon sentient beings. His merit is infinite as the ocean. A drop from the willow is like the nectar of Dharma. Sexual misconducts are the worst of all unwholesome deeds. Filial piety is the foremost among all wholesome deeds. The knot can only be untied by the knotter. Virtue is 1 foot tall, the devil 10 foot. It is better to stir up 1,000 rivers than to disturb a practitioner. Humility is the most beautiful adornment. Good begets good, evil begets evil. Neighbors are better than distant relatives. No smiling face will ever be struck by a fist of anger. Do no evil, practice all wholesome deeds. Across all of time, and all of space. It is easy to catch thieves in the mountains, but hard to catch the thieves in one's mind. To give rise to a mind that does not abide in anything. From these frequently used Buddhist expressions and terms it can be seen that Buddhist language had already blended into the lives of the common people and exerted tremendous influence in their way of life. Single character Buddhist terms that have become part of daily speech include 1. Karma, deed or action that give rise to retributions. 2. Awakening, to help the self and others to realize or be clear about the truth. 3. Dissatisfaction, a state of physical or mental dissatisfaction categorized into 3, 8 and mundane types. 4. Kalpa, an ancient Indian unit of time. In Buddhism this word bears the meaning of calamity. 5. Condition, the profound truth, which the Buddha awakened to. That everything in this world is conditioned and interconnected. This interconnection cannot be severed. 6. Emptiness, the essence of being, and the basis upon which matters arise. For example, without purity, how could homes be clean and minds untainted? Without the mention of affliction, how would we be able to see its effect on us? Without cause and effect, how can we comprehend the truth and law of life? Without humility, how can we be moral? Without compassion, would enemies not surround us? Deprived of Buddhist thoughts and literature, how could works such as The Water Margin, Dream of the Red Chamber, Journey to the West, and The Scholars ever have been masterpieces? While texts such as the Lotus Sutra and Diamond Sutra may be poetic and legible, to fully grasp their profound meanings would be another matter. For this reason, the difficult terms and language used in Buddhism are said to have hindered its propagation. Expressions such as cause and effect may seem easy to understand, yet their true meanings are very hard to comprehend. Others such as nirvana, dhyana, prajna, sunyata cannot be understood without actual cultivation and experiences. While these expressions are often used, few have grasped their true meanings. Contemporary literary writers such as Luke Shun and Bajin have admitted to espousing Buddhist thoughts in their works. When the 2012 Nobel Prize in Literature laureate, Mo Yan visited Fo Gangshan, he too mentioned that the title of his work, Worn Out by Life and Death, was inspired by the Sutra of 8 Realizations of Great Beings. In conclusion, imagine the Chinese language in its entirety bereft of Buddhism. Without Buddhism, would Chinese literary and historical expressions have been as elegant and rich? As we speak of revitalizing the Chinese culture, we must be made aware of the variances Buddhist language has made to society and life. No matter your background or occupation, we are speaking the humanistic Buddhist language. As Liang Qichao has claimed, Buddhism alone contributed over 34,000 words to the Chinese language. Without these contributions, the Chinese language would be empty. After long-term persistence in spreading the Dharma through culture and prizing the use of text, Humanistic Buddhism has indeed reached into society and assimilated with everyday life. The Buddhist language has made all positive expressions. If we are able to combine the beauty of the Buddhist language with our era of instant communication, the possibilities are astounding. Daily, we could share words of wondrous splendor, encompassing the world in a warm spring breeze. Just as the saying goes, a face devoid of anger is already a great way of giving, and to speak no words of anger is to emit wondrous fragrance from the lips, is one of the most beautiful expressions in Humanistic Buddhism. Dedication of merits. May kindness, compassion, joy and equanimity pervade all worlds. May we cherish and build affinities to benefit all beings. May Chan, Pure Land and precepts inspire equality and patience. May our humility and gratitude give rise to great vows.